Hello, I'm Maddie. This is the Light Project. This is actually our first video.
Cool.
I'm here with Rick Kahn. I don't know why I always do that in my videos. I'm trying to talk to people about what they are doing during these times to stay sane, to stay afloat, to bring joy into their own lives and share that joy with others. So, Rick, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Matt. It's been fun this year kind of working with you on a bunch of like collaboration pieces. But my name is Rick Kahn. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Trinidad. My family moved to New York when I was still a young kid and kind of went through that process, went through the school system and studied architecture in college. Grew up in a construction family. So, there's a lot of learning about trades and how people work really hard just to, support their families and build a skilled craft. So I went into architecture because I'm a creative person. I love design. It's really about the why for me is about really trying to help people in different ways, right? Yes, you can be a doctor, a nurse, a social worker, but from an architect and a construction person's perspective, you're building the shelters and facilities that allow us to live and improve our lives. So that's been the big why for me, which led me into my current career in construction, leading innovation for the company I work for. And what does that mean in a construction company? Well, it's about helping people. We still kill a lot of people in our industry. We still hurt a lot of people. And it's part of my job to find ways that we completely eliminate that and prepare us for the future. So, so that's a little bit about me. I'm a father with my life partner, Jess, who I met in Hawaii. And I have two wonderful children, both adopted. So my daughter is half Mexican and half Caucasian, and my son is half Ethiopian and half Caucasian. So my wife and I couldn't have kids, so we adopted kids who come from a mixed family. So it's been an awesome journey, and here I am today in 2020 with everyone else.
Backstory, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. Rick and I are actually COVID friends. We've never met in person. We were introduced by a mutual friend, G. Hi, G.
Hey, G.
And started doing these like music projects together via Google, I guess. What's the music we were using? I can't even remember.
All kinds of music. Yellow. Some Bar Marley music, some Eric Clapton, kind of reminding people of our age, I guess.
Good times. And you can find some of those videos on Rick's page on YouTube, right? Yeah. And I'll put his YouTube info in the comments later.
Mm-hmm.
So you worked in construction, you have a beautiful family. What do you do for yourself?
Well, I think this year has been a challenge for everyone on this earth, especially in this country with the current state. And, it was a pretty low year for me. It started off pretty low, losing a really close family member to COVID and kind of living through that process like everyone else. And it was interesting because like in past years, I've been so driven around work and the importance of succeeding, the American dream for an immigrant or whatever. But yet this year I realized after not traveling every other week for work that my family is so important. I reconnected with so many people in my family that I just never connected with before. It's my fault. I have responsibility for that end. even though folks had reached out to me. So a large part of this year has been reaching out to family, reconnecting, rekindling relationships, especially with friends too. You know, due to COVID, my buddies who we were all roommates in college, all four of us, we meet once a month now on Friday nights and have a little virtual, get together. And it's been great. I haven't seen them in 10, 15 years, and it's like we never left. But one of the things I'm really proud about and excited is about leveraging music to help free my mind and leverage both sides of my brain. I'm really into learning and trying new things. And this year, working with you, Natalie, and creating duets for the first time virtually, I felt like I learned a lot from you and your husband too, in terms of how do we play on, within the right timing and all that good stuff. And I remember us going back and forth on like little adjustments. That was an awesome learning opportunity. And really diving into trying to learn new songs almost every week or every 2 weeks. And trying to learn it from a point of performance, like not just see I learned it, but learn it and try and feel it, and I feel that's been great for me this year. The other thing has been creating like these cool projects with my kids. So this summer, my daughter and I built a clubhouse in the back, she was involved in the design and building it, and it was a lot of fun. And then like
architect for a dad.
Yeah, and the builder, right? Just both the creative side. So that's a lot of fun. But then we created these projects. My daughter, we saw Hamilton. Remember, we were talking about that the other day. And she was inspired with a bunch of kids in our block to put on their own Hamilton show. And it was like 10 kids in our block, and they practiced for months memorizing the songs. And these are 10-year-olds, 11, 12, they're all, my son at 6 years old played a redcoat. And now at Thanksgiving, we started building forts because we were looking, some kids were building forts in the park close to our house, and our kids got inspired. And now we have the largest fort. We're kind of have this entire winter project. So it's like all these projects, and it's about learning and being creative. And I know that's what keeps me. Long walks with my new dog. We got a COVID puppy. So, it's been great. It's a rescue. And it's like half pit bull, half boxer, we think, but she's a beautiful dog. She loves everyone. And it's just been great. Lots of love.
I'm also dying to see that Kid Hamilton performance. Is that on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I sent you a link this morning because I forgot. Yeah.
If I hadn't have slept in, I would have seen it.
That's all good. When you can, as a mom, right? As a mom.
That was my alarm.
Oh, no. Really? Nice.
I'm like, now you go off? Wow.
Yeah. Well, as a mom, if you can get a little extra sleep, you need it.
Right. Absolutely. Since it's vacation time, we've been staying up a little later. We watched a movie last night. So
yeah.
Okay, so can you share some of the things you've been creating on your instruments?
My instruments?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really interested in learning more advanced songs and trying to 5-6 pages of sheet music, trying to learn it and play it with passion and play it with my own timing and my own like flair. It's been really fun learning that. It's like moving to a next level of my experience and education around music. And the other thing I've been doing is I've been really moving back and forth between a low G setting and a high G setting and learning songs for both instead of just learning it for one, like a high G, which is the typical, and I found out that I really love low G settings. I love the extra bass. I love the fullness that it provides to this tiny little instrument. I I got inspired by you because you started playing the guitar, and I'm like, that was my original goal. So maybe 2021, the year of learning the guitar.
I have been obsessed with the guitar. I'm like guitar now.
Yeah.
I mean, I love both. I love the uke and the guitar, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just they're just different. There's a lot more you can do with the guitar, but there's a lot you can do with an ukulele. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and just
figuring that out.
finding more artists who play, and just amazing. So many people around the world leverage ukulele, and they play so wonderfully. And I'm just learning. I know I self-taught, and YouTube has been a blessing to learn over the last 8 years. I started 8 years ago, and I got to the point where I thought I would never get better, and all of a sudden I like hit this point, and I just started absorbing it and getting after it, and it's been a fun journey, and I'm looking forward to the next, however long that it takes. But that's a huge like meditation aspect. I don't feel like medication does work for me, but yeah, but meditation, and like I don't have the discipline, to do that, but like playing music, I play every day, and like it's calms me. Like it allows me to get my mind off of everything. I mean, back in Hawaii, where kind of I lived before, I mean, I used to surf, and surfing was everything to me. It changed my life, and just being part of nature and having to be completely aware always. Like I wasn't out there thinking about, oh, I got this work to do, or I got to pick this thing up, or I was out there trying to learn the waves and learn the currents and triangulate, and just like hoot people, just like, wow, there's amazing people out here. Now it's like it's transition because I live in Minnesota now.
You can't go surfing in Minnesota.
So I'm not much of a surfer. I say now that I used to be a surfer, but a lot of our family trips, go to the beach somewhere so I can get in the ocean.
Me too. I miss that.
Yeah, I know. And you got cold water up in San Francisco, so it's not like
cold water. Yeah, I'm not surfing in that water. People do.
Yeah, I got a bunch of friends who live in Northern California who surf a lot, and I'm like, yeah, no.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll be bundled up on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, can you play us a song or two?
Yeah. I'd love to. Of course, I'm going to get nervous because I don't usually play in public. You and I have been recording stuff over and over, so it's easy.
Right. Let's pretend it's just me. It's just me now. I haven't published yet.
So hopefully I'll adjust this so you can see the instrument a little bit, and I don't know if this will work. Oh, yeah. How does the sound? Is it okay? Okay, so I'm a big 80s, 90s. That's when I grew up. So it's like, that's the kind of music I love. So like I've been, and George Michael was one of the guys who I remember, back in the day loving that music. So I learned Careless Whisper in the last, couple of weeks, and I've been playing it over and over. It's one of those things that gets stuck in my head and I can't help but play it. So I'll try that. All right. Oh man, I kind of I got stuck there for a second.
Oh, it's all good. That was so great. I love those licks. The classic.
Yeah, I know. The song is really, it's kind of long because it repeats a couple of bars, so I didn't want to get stuck in there. But there's one part I really love. It. Let me just, can I play that real quick?
Yeah,
All right. So it's after this second part. Anyways, I just love that piece. Yeah.
So fun.
It's
You're
been
really good.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing that quite a bit. It's so much better when you know a song and like get into it instead of like learning like an instrumental, which is really, it's really foreign and you don't know the melody. And so I'm trying to focus on those now because I feel like I'm getting more into the song. Just another level of learning, you know.
Yeah. And you know what you want it to sound like, so you can like work towards that.
Yeah, and that was just, I was changing some of the notes and chords just to get a little different sound, and the pull-offs and the slides, and it's interesting when you start adding your own flair to it. And so that's what I'm getting now. I'm kind of experimenting, and that's fun. That's the fun part.
That is fun. Yeah, anything new and change. That's what keeps you going. That's
yeah. Yeah, I know. So what are you working on these days? I mean, what kind of music or songs are you working on?
I've been doing a lot of guitar. I was just last night. I've been really like trying to get House of the Rising Sun.
Ooh.
Super obsessed with nailing that. So it's been a lot of new finger work for me. I'm like picking on the guitar, which I've never done before. And the other one is Wasted by the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of bar chords. So my fingers are like all over the neck, like all stretched out in ways that I never thought possible. And honestly, I started like a few months ago and my fingers were like, I was like, I can't do this. This is ridiculous, Yeah. But the more I practice, the easier it gets. And now I'm playing all these chords that I never thought I could. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, that's so fun. And like as a kid, I remember learning the piano and like, oh, I gotta play. And I wasn't really into it. I was just, something I wanted to do. And I never really learned it the way I wanted to learn it. And I just quit after a couple of years. But it gave me the foundation, and learning this and wanting to play every day. So now I know with like these prodigies and these kids who learn at 4 and 2, whatever, and they become these amazing musicians. And I'm like, because they're passionate and they love it, and I think that's what we all strive for in our lives. What is it that we can really get passionate about and use it to fuel our happiness, So
Fill our cups.
Yeah.
Fill our cups with music. Nice music, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
And family. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of family time. And, I mean, I was one of those guys who traveled so much for work that I was just like the play toy. I'd come home and, my, mom was the boss and she still is the boss. And I'm just kind of like, but now, I'm part of the day. I get up, take care of the kids in the morning where mom sleeps a little bit. And I cook dinner every night. And, I'm the dish cleaner. So I'm like always doing dishes. And, but like,
my house?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, my wife's the boss.
I love to nap.
Yeah. And I just, I have it easy. I'm working from home. So I'm stuck here in my little 4 foot by 6 foot space. That's the only space I get in the house. But yeah, but my Jess, she is doing the majority of the work. So and when I'm at work or traveling, I can't even help at all. Outside of like moral support, but now I'm helping and I feel like I'm part of the family. I'm not just the guy who goes off to work and comes home and, is stressed out. So that's been a massive blessing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
can you play us one more song? And then I forgot I have.
Yeah. What about like a Barb Molly? Little.
Yeah.
No woman, no cry. All right.
Yes.
Let me get the notes out just because I didn't memorize this fully yet, but it sounds really pretty. And I'm gonna change the high G.
Yeah.
My mango.
Beautiful.
All right. Ready? Barb Molly. No woman, no cry. Whoops, I messed that one up. All right. I always get nervous when I'm live, right?
I know. It's crazy. Like you can practice a million times and like, and then when it comes time to be like play it for someone, I don't know what happens.
I know. It's just, I guess, practice, and one of the things I do in the summer is I go outside and play. So it's not necessarily in front of a lot of people. Every once in a while, people walk by, and that helps. But I don't know. Being in front of a lot of people or going live is always a challenge.
Well, you sounded amazing. I don't
Thanks.
think anyone else would notice. Except maybe like professional ukulele players, but
Yeah. Yeah.
well, thanks for being here and sharing your light with us and your story. You're just such a wonderful person with a great positive attitude and musical talents, and we need all of those things right now and always.
Yeah. 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 Well, thank you so much for having me. This is a lot of fun. It's always fun connecting with people, and the new way of connecting is virtually. So, one of the things I love to start with when we talk on virtually is like, how are you doing? How's your family? Let's talk about life first before we jump into work or the task at hand. And I think that's been really helpful, helping kind of bridge the human connection through a virtual environment.
Right. Because everyone's home right now with their families.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going as well for some than others.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel blessed. And I think one of the things we can do, the folks who have resources and have the opportunity to do, is really help our local communities, our local restaurants. We shifted a lot of our charity givings from national to local, food banks and shelters. And, so we're supporting a lot of local organizations just because it's, you can talk about philanthropy and sending your money around the world, but we have millions of people in this country that needs help. And, we got to do our part. I can only do so much, right? We can only do so much, but do what you can.
Absolutely. Hashtag buy small. Go to my other YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
All small businesses you can support.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, great to see you.
You too, Nat.
To yoga.
Yeah.
Another thing that keeps me sane.
That's right. Yes. That's awesome. All right. Well, you have a great day and a happy holiday.
I'll send you the link to this later.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Aloha.
Aloha. Yeah. I haven't done that in a while.